Thank you, Warden. Alright guys, let's get out of here. Alright, see here in Harambe, Twende, and let's go. So, jump everyone and welcome aboard Kilimanjaro Safaris. My name is Andrew and I'm going to be your guide today throughout the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, as a safety reminder, the roads out here in the reserve can get pretty bumpy pretty quickly and the truck will be swaying side to side almost constantly. So, in order to keep anyone from getting hurt or falling outside the vehicle, please do not stand up at all. You guys must remain seated on your rear ends the entire time. This does go for both adults and children, so parents, please supervise your children at all times. And children, if you really want to help me out, supervise your parents. Now, if the little ones need to have a better view, they are more than welcome to be seated on top of your laps, parents. Just please make sure that you remain seated on your laps, so do not hold them up in any way. And please do not play pass the baby from lap to lap or side to side. Now, we're going to be entering the reserve through the Little Eatery Forest. This is an area where a lot of the animals like to make use of their own natural camouflage in order to avoid predators. And to start things off, out on the right side in that back left corner, we do see an okapi. The okapi is a very shy and elusive animal. As a matter of fact, they weren't even discovered by the Western Hemisphere until around 1901. Now, despite the black and white stripes on the okapi's legs, they actually are the closest living relative to the giraffe, not the zebra.
Look at the cardinal.
Now, on top of the hill further up ahead on the right side of the road, we do see some bongos. Bongos are also known as the ghosts of the forest. They do have those thick horns which are bent backwards, which do allow them to run through tangled up underbrush without actually getting tangled up themselves. As the other species of antelope that are alongside them, those are greater kudus.
Those are bongos.
They are the second largest antelopes in Africa, standing at just under 5 feet tall. And as you can tell, these particular kudus over here are females due to the lack of horns on their heads.
Yep.
Now, to our left side, we do see a black rhinoceros. Black rhinos are around 3,000 pounds, and when charging, they can reach a top speed of around 35 miles an hour. They really do not have any natural predators in the wild they really have to worry about, save for mainly one, which unfortunately happened to be us. Humans have been illegally poaching rhinos due to the keratin in their horns, which they do believe has some kind of medicinal value to it. Actually, it's not at all, considering the fact that keratin is the same material that your fingernails and hair are made of.
Yeah, there was a rhino over that hill. He's gone now.
And looks to be a second black rhino up here as well, walking back to his cave on the left.
Oh, there he is.
You guys actually are pretty lucky to have been able to catch a glimpse of 2 black rhinos. Due to illegal poaching, there's fewer than 5,000 of them left in the whole world.
Got him.
Now it looks like we are reaching the edge of the Eatery Forest. As we make way further up ahead and up the next hill, we're going to be crossing over into the Safi River. The river is home to both the Nile hippopotamus as well as the Nile crocodiles. Now, when it comes to those hippos, you guys will definitely want to keep a very sharp eye out on the surface of the water. Every so often, those hippos can actually be a pretty difficult animal to spot, despite their size. I actually do believe I already do see a hippo. Look right where those logs come out of the water. You do see some hippos barely surfacing. Now, in order to keep their bodies from overheating, as well as to prevent dehydration, the hippos like to spend a lot of their time underneath the surface of the water. They actually can hold their breath for around 5 to 8 minutes at a time, and they're also well known to sleep beneath the surface of the water at night. And even though they can swim, they often do prefer to just sink themselves down to the very bottom to walk along the floor. Now, looks like there's an entire group out here to our left side. It's actually a much better view.
There we go.
A group of hippos is referred to as epaulote, and despite the fact that they're herbivores, hippos are actually considered to be one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, most because of their aggressiveness and very territorial nature. Now, so the pelicans over here, these are pink-back pelicans. They do get their names from the pinkish feathers that appear in their backs during mating season. And when fully grown, they can have a wingspan of around 9 feet across, which does come very close to exceeding the width of this truck, which is just about 10 feet wide. Now, the hippos will actually have a very symbiotic relationship with birds. Every so often you will see birds like those vultures right on top of a hippo's back eating away at their dead skin. The hippos do not mind it at all. They actually do find it very, very relaxing. Now, to our left side, we do see those Nile crocodiles. They are the largest in the crocodilian species, coming in at around 16 to 18 feet long, which is almost as long as a giraffe is tall. Their jaws are immensely powerful, snapping shut with a pressure of around 2,000 pounds per square inch. They can break bones almost easily. They do also eat around half their body weight in one feeding, which is meaning they eat around 1 meal per week. Although food is very scarce, crocodiles actually have been well known to go several months without eating a single meal, sometimes for as long as even 6 months. heading to the right side, we're about to be coming across one of the most bizarre looking trees in Africa. This is known as a baobab, also known as the upside down trees because their branches do look quite a lot like roots. Baobabs are decidual trees, which does mean that they do shed their leaves at a certain point of the year and will go completely leafless like that for around 6 to 9 months straight. They also contain water inside their swollen trunks, which allow them to survive a severe drought. Now, welcome everyone to the plains of the Serengeti grasslands. This right here is easily my favorite view on the entire reserve, and the plains of the savannah do spread out around 800 square miles across the African landscape. Now, a lot of the animals that are found out here are well known to maintain the landscape themselves, and they actually do a pretty good job at it. The first animals we do see out here on the right side are the very spectacular horns of an Ankole cattle, just further up ahead. They're also known as the Watusi cattle, named after the tribe that had originally domesticated them, and they are indeed the only domesticated animals on this entire reserve. Those large horns of theirs are around 5 to 6 feet in length from tip to tip, and while they may look very heavy, they're roughly around 15 pounds apiece because they are semi-hollow on the inside, with a honeycomb-shaped structure that is run throughout the length of the horns.
Here they are.
This area to the left side is actually known to be the territory of African wild dogs, which you do see somewhere on top of that rock formation. They're also known as the painted dog because of their brown and black coats. They actually are considered to be one of the best hunters in the entire animal kingdom, as it can in fact chase down their prey so relentlessly until the point that the prey will collapse to complete exhaustion. And the wild dogs are a very sociable animal, living in packs of around 5 to 15 dogs, and they're usually led by both an alpha male and female, which do act as the primary beaters of the pack.
They look like fox, right? Look at that tail.
Like a wolf.
Now up ahead to the left side we do see a tower giraffe, buddy with a green baseball cap out there. Make sure you are sitting down, please. Thank you. The giraffe are the tallest animals in the world, so if you add around 18 to 20 feet tall when fully grown. Now they usually spend around 16 to almost 20 hours of the day, mostly just eating constantly, and only ever really sleep for a half hour. Now the giraffes will never really sleep that full 30 minutes in one sitting. They tend to split it up throughout most of the day, and the giraffes never even sleep laying down. Those either be sleeping, standing up, or sitting down. Even newborn giraffes can be around 6 feet tall, and they usually can walk within the first hour of life. Now, so those very dark brown antelopes back there, those are sable antelopes. They actually are the official animals of the Harambe Wild Reserve. Their herds do mostly consist of females and their young, alongside the occasional lone male, and the darker their coats is meaning the older and the wiser they are. Now you do get another view of those Ankole cow to the right side. Now I did say before their horns are semi-hollow on the inside. This does allow blood to flow through those horns, and because of that, Ankole cattle can use their horns to regulate their body temperature. And back during the days of the ancient tribes of Africa, these Ankole cattle were actually seen as symbols of wealth. Back then, the more Ankole cattle that you owned basically meant the wealthier you were. Now out there in the hills, we do see some very tiny antelopes. These are springbok. They are around 3 feet tall and fully grown, and as their name implies, they do have the ability to spring up into the air at around 8 to 10 feet straight up from a standing position. This is an ability that is known as spronking. And also there's a wildebeest alongside them. The rest of the herd might be up ahead. Now also back during the days of ancient tribes of Africa, those people couldn't really find any other animals to try to compare the wildebeest to, so to them they basically were just wild beasts. Here comes another giraffe. Now, because of the fact that these wildebeests were seen as wild beasts, this is where their names come from. The Afrikaans word for wild beast is in fact wildebeest.
Don't move me, please. What is wrong with you? Oh my! That is so cool! Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I see him. Yep.
I can see a lot of overturned logs up ahead. This might be our first clue that might be an elephant herd through here. Elephants are very, very strong, and their trunks alone have 2,000 muscles within them. They can topple trees over with relative ease. Actually, there's an elephant out there to our right side. Now, I am willing to assume there's a male. Male elephants tend to be a lot more solitary, choose to either completely separate themselves from the rest of the group and live on their own, or live in loosely packed groups of males only, known as bachelor herds, which can contain as many as 144 male elephants. Now to our left side, we do see some mandrills. They are the largest monkeys in Africa. They have a very distinct red and blue face, which does get even brighter depending on the level of excitement. And even do have an inner pouch in their cheek that they can use to store food for later.
He was in the tree.
So there are a few more elephants out there to the right side. Let's go see if we can get another view of them. Now the male and female elephants hardly ever interact with each other unless it is time for them to mate. This does seem like it might still be that herd of male elephants.
Yep.
They're all the way back here, then I'm willing to assume that the main herd is up ahead somewhere. Let's go try to catch up with them, at least as fast as we can, go at a blazing 8 miles an hour. Now, for the farmers of Africa, the elephants have actually been becoming a very big problem for them, since they have been stomping all over their crops. So the farmers have been getting together in order to do a lot of research and have discovered that elephants are quite afraid of bees. As a result, they have been building beehive fences all around their crops in order to keep the elephants out. As a nice trade-off, they do now produce some honey. Now, in the walls on both sides of us, this is actually a red clay pit. And in the clay up ahead, we can see some footprints along with some tusk marks. This is an obvious clue the rest of the elephant herd might have actually been through here, as they are well known to eat this red clay. Its function, in fact, is a good source of nutrients.
Here they are.
And you see another elephant out there to the left side. Looks like the herd might just be up ahead. Now, the main herds of the elephants are usually very female-dominated, led by the oldest and wisest of the females, known as the matriarch. When fully grown, those elephants can be around 9,000 to almost 15,000 pounds, making them one of the largest land animals in the world, if not the largest. Even newborn elephants can be around 300 pounds, and whenever a female elephant is pregnant, their gestation period is actually around 22 months long, so just shy of 2 years. Actually, there does seem to be a baby elephant out there on our left side. Now, this baby elephant is around 5 to 6 months old, and even though she is that young, she still does weigh in at a whopping 850 pounds. As you can see how a lot of the elephants are flapping their ears. This is basically their way of trying to cool themselves down. By getting a nice air current to those blood vessels right behind the ears, the elephant can actually lower their body temperature by as much as 15 degrees. Now, the elephant's skin is also very sensitive to the sunlight. In order to help protect themselves, they will usually toss some kind of debris all over their back, whether it be dirt, sand, mud, or leaves. It's basically elephants' way of trying to coat themselves in their own natural sunlight. Now, up ahead to the left side, we are about to be seeing the greater flamingos. Not only are they the tallest of the entire species, but they also do have a lighter shade of pink. And they do actually start out gray, and by eating a lot of tiny brine shrimp as well as other smaller crustaceans, which are rich in a mineral called carotene, it is what turns a flamingo's feathers from gray to pink. Although that whole process does take around a year or so to accomplish. And believe it or not, a group of flamingos like this one is actually referred to as a flamboyance.
Look at the baby one. Look at the baby one. Look at the baby
Now here to our left side, we do see some more antelopes. These are bantaboks. Unfortunately, the bantaboks are hunted to almost complete extinction because of their shiny coats. Whenever the sunlight is happened to hit one at just the right angle, as we can see, the bantaboks almost glow purple. Bless you.
Oh, look, he's following him. Look at him. He's following us.
Now, I'm also guessing that we are right in the middle of rhino territory as well. I can tell because of the massive mud pit over there to our left side. This is known as a wallow. Now, like the elephants, the rhino's skin is also very sensitive to the sunlight. In order to help protect themselves, they will usually roll themselves around these wallows and cover themselves in a nice thick layer of that mud. So keep your eyes open. We might be coming across a few more rhinos.
Yep. These are
In the
pretty.
meantime, out here to the left side, going the whole way down this road, these hills over here are known to be cheetah territory. The cheetahs can be almost anywhere up here.
Let's hope so.
There's one. Down towards the very far end of the road. The cheetahs are among the fastest land animals in the world, able to go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds flat, literally able to hold speed for a few hundred yards. These animals are definitely built for speed over power, as a larger predator, the lions can easily get them off.
Oh, there's one.
Now, unlike the lions, cheetahs are day hunters. They are not nocturnal, and they're actually the only big cats that retain the ability to purr as well as meow. The cheetahs do not really have the same kind of throat structure that, say, a lion does, so cheetahs cannot roar at all.
Yes, they can. They're the biggest cats that purr.
Now up ahead, we're going to be coming across a very large rock formation. This is known as a kopie. And right on top of the kopie rock formation, at least the second largest rock, you can see a male lion.
A male?
Now, lions are
There he
among
is.
the largest carnivores in Africa. They're one of the only big cats that gather together in a pride to hunt cooperatively. Now, when it comes to those male lions, you usually can tell how old they are, judging by the size of their mane. The smaller the mane, please sit down. The younger the lion, thank you. Now, lions are very nocturnal animals, spending anywhere from around 16, almost 22 hours straight every single day. They are far more active at night. As a matter of fact, their night vision is 6 times more effective than that of a human's. Now, keep a lookout for more lions. Never know, might be some females in there. In the meantime, to our right side, we do see some ostrich alongside some white rhinos. The ostrich are the tallest birds in the world. So if you had around 6 to 7 feet tall and fully grown, even though they do have wings, they are flightless birds. They definitely do more than make up for their speed. They do anywhere from around 30 to 40 miles an hour. Now going back to those lions, female lions do the majority of the hunting for the pride, while the males tend to stay behind in order to guard their territory as well as watch their cubs. And believe it or not, their roars can be heard from around 5 to 6 miles away. This is their primary form of communication. It's actually how they do keep track of each other.
He climbed. He's up there. Yep.
Look out to the left side. There's a warthog back there. Several of them actually. They're laying down amongst the rocks, so don't get confused with them.
Oh, I see them.
Warthogs are the largest burrowing animals in the world, able to make use of those tough snouts and very sharp tusks that dig deep within the earth. And they're quite well known to make use of the burrows of other animals as well. Now, as for the white rhinos, they are around 2,000 pounds heavier than black rhinos, which should make them around 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. Now, they aren't actually colored white, they're simply a lighter shade of gray, and the reason why they are called white rhinos is actually because of the wide lips they have, coming from the Afrikaans word for wide, which is white. Also, those are ostrich eggs to the right side. Ostrich eggs are the largest bird eggs in the world, weighing in at around 3 pounds each, and they are so strong you can't have a fully grown man sit on top of one of them, and their shells will not crack at all.
They were along the rocks. They were. Yeah.
Now, up ahead is unfortunately going to be our final stop on our tour. This area is known as Magadi Glens. Let's take a look around and see what we happen to find. This is one of the newest additions to the reserve. Unfortunately, because of that, we don't really get too many animal sightings in here. Now, these are yellow-billed storks to our right side. They are around 3 feet tall and do have a wingspan of around 5 feet across. They are carnivorous birds, primarily feeding on fish alongside different species of frogs and reptiles. Actually, further back up against the fence with it to the right side, there's also a scimitar horned oryx. Might be a little difficult to spot. Now, they are named due to the extremely long and curved horns of the head, and they are desert-dwelling animals. They are quite used to the harsh environment and can go around 6 to 9 months without ever drinking a single drop of water. Now, if you guys do want to see any of the animals that are native to Africa, definitely be sure to go check out the Falls, home to our famous Pangani Exploration Trail. Now, there to be able to see a number of different animals, whether it be something as small as a naked mole rat to a meerkat, something as large as an eastern Northern gorilla. It's also a walking trail, so you guys can take as long as you'd like. And now, judging by the watering hole up ahead, it does seem as though we are nearing the end of our safari, folks. So make sure you guys are gathering up all personal belongings that you guys may have brought along with you. Now, if you happen to have any wilderness explorers on board today, listen up, because you guys have the riding aboard the Simba 1. That's S-I-M-B-A and the number 1. Be sure to write that down on page 15 of your handbook. You'll need to know that in order to earn your safari badge. Now, starting at 10 o'clock a.m., you guys can also head over to the Harambe railway station and catch a ride on the Wildlife Express train out to Rafiki's Final Watch. There's a lot to see and do out there with both an animal hospital alongside a petting zoo where you guys can have a up-close and personal interaction with cows, goats, and pigs, your basic farm animals. Now, the train will be in operation until 4:30 p.m. this afternoon, with Rafiki's Final Watch itself closing at 5 o'clock p.m.
I think it close at 5:40.
Maybe we'll do that another day. That'd be fun. Just take a train.
This one?
This isn't a train.
I think that's
Sounds like he's in
Rafiki? Rafiki's
Now here, Harambe folks really do not like to say goodbye. Goodbyes are far too sad and far too final. So leaving you with an old Swahili phrase known as kwaherini, what does mean to go well. So kwaherini everyone, do go well. Hope you enjoy the rest of your time in the Harambe village, wherever else your travels may take you.
I got a little way.